All right, so you want big shoulders. You're natural. You're not on that stuff. And you're like, man, genetically, I just don't have these big boulder shoulders that I see other guys have. A lot of those other guys are on that stuff, guys. Okay, so we got to be smart about what we do. The first thing that we have to do, always got to make sure that you are strengthening your ligaments and your joints. Last thing you want is a rotator cuff injury. What I like to do is place my arms directly into the elastoband like this.
Okay, real quick. So we're going over the most unsexy part first. But this is the most important in my opinion, because if you are not in the gym working out, then you're not making gains and your shoulders cannot grow. If you strengthen the ligaments and the joints, then you actually have an opportunity to do every exercise that's coming in this video later.
But the key on these is it's not so much about how many reps you can do. It's about once you get it up to about here, really fighting against the gravity of the band wanting to bring your arms back together. And a lot of other videos do you a major disservice by not talking about how important it is to take care of your shoulders first and foremost. Longevity of your joints and your muscles. I also like to do some internal rotation work. I'll do both arms like this. Some other ways you can do it too. You can mimic a kind of like a one-arm face pull. And then of course, you guys can still see that. See if I can face it where you can see it. You can actually go out this way as well. You want to do that on both arms. You want to do that every shoulder day. Guys, no shame in your game to take 10 to 15 minutes to properly warm up your shoulders before you start working out. It's stabilizing those ligaments and those joints, preventing injury, because if you get injured, especially with the shoulder, you got a long road to recovery, and that's the last thing we want. From now on, I do 3 warm-up sets on every exercise that I do, at bare minimum of 2. So if I'm in a rush, I might do 2. But on days when I have time to take my time and to properly warm up, I do 3 warm-up sets. So a total of 5 sets, 2 working sets to failure after those 3 warm-up sets. For me, I get the best results. Plus mentally, I just feel really good knowing that my muscles are completely warm. Guys, I'm almost 40 years old. If you're around that age too, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The last thing we want is to be visiting the doctors and the chiropractors when we could have taken care of ourselves in here by being smart. And one of the things that I'll tell you is you can lower the weight. Look, I don't have a lot of weight on here. I'm gonna do some behind the neck presses. I think they get a bad rap, but on these, I'm really focusing on that portion when we're coming down. I'm not jerking or anything. I'll show you guys. The neck is not moving, and we're just coming up. Down as far as we can go comfortably.
Hey, if you're still watching to this point, I'd really appreciate it if you like, share, subscribe, support a small creator like myself, because we don't get the reach that the big creators get. But anyway, even if you don't, you're still welcome here. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Now back to the video.
Okay. All right, I like that. I like that. So that's what we're doing, guys. That's what we're focusing on. Lighter weights. I'm not gonna say like super light, but more of like a medium-ish weight. Bare minimum 8 reps, but I don't mind getting 12, 15. I'm that guy. Even if I'm in the set, there's no way you're gonna get me to go back, stop what I'm doing, go get some more weight, change it all up, none of that. I'm just gonna keep busting out rep after rep. Anyway, we're gonna do some behind the neck presses. Then we're gonna move on to another press. We're gonna work more of the front portion of the shoulders. I just really like behind the neck every now and then. It's working that upper portion of your back too, and a lot of people don't tell you that if you want your shoulders to grow, you have to work your back as well. Come on, y'all, let's go. Focusing on exactly what we talked about. Woo! All right, guys, let me get a set in here, and then I'm gonna show you my thinking behind this. All right. So on those, instead of the standard, just out to the side, point your thumbs inward. Start slow right at the beginning. Bend the elbow just a little bit at the end and squeeze. Get those rear delts involved and the side delts too. Plus at the end, we're supersetting with just a few more of these, right? Because we haven't worked a lot of the front delts, we can superset it, get a few more reps in, and we're still working the entire shoulder. It's a great pump, great exercise, something that I do a lot. Not using heavy weight, controlling the weight.
Also, just so you guys know where I'm coming from, when I'm talking about heavier weights, I'm talking about reps between like 7 and 8 where you would fail. When I'm talking about medium-ish weights, it's about 10. And then when I'm talking about like a little bit lighter than medium or a true medium, that would be anywhere from like 12 to 15 reps. If you go beyond that slightly, 16, 17, and you were supposed to get 12, you were supposed to get 15, icing on the cake. I really like those. I think those are great for overall muscle growth.
Controlling the weight, fellas. That's how you force that muscle growth. And I don't want to do this either. I don't like to bring them together because I use a lot of traps when they start coming together. So I like to keep them apart with a full stretch, just like that. And I like high reps on these.
This right here is going to be the key for most men, okay? The most neglected muscle on the entire body, in my opinion, besides legs for a lot of people, is the rear delts. And that's the biggest reason why I don't think you're getting the gains in your shoulders that you actually could. I want you guys to see this superset that I'm doing every shoulder day now.
Oh, you need that? My bad. Are you good? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Make sure you're working them rear delts. That's a big part of bringing that posture back for them delts, make them look nice and juicy. And the way that you do that, those bent over flies I just did, hitting the rear delt, superset it right into these machine reverse flies. I like a little bit of a higher hand position and a good squeeze. Man, gotta work those rear delts, fellas. All right, guys, so in my opinion, shoulder day is not complete until you hit some traps. And keep in mind the traps wrap all the way around into the front part of the shoulder and neck, into the back end, the rear delts. So a lot of traps get worked whenever you're doing bent over rows and some of the back movements that you're doing, especially a lot of rows and even some pull downs. But on shoulder day, I like to keep it simple with just some shrugs. I do like to try to bend over, well, not bend over, but bend slightly forward
I don't traditionally do them here on a bench press rack, but you guys, you don't need a lot of weight for these. You just need good form, proper technique, and that goes for just about everything that we're doing. So if you're the type of person that's been ego lifting, jerking and rocking, just stop it. Stop it, and your gains will probably go through the roof.